some were eaten by wild animals, some died of diseases, and some were stolen by people who lost their children in the war. Then eventually I arrived in Ethiopia, and that's where I got trained and I became a child soldier. How many know what a child soldier is? Okay, can you tell us that?
Isn't it where, as a child, you have to go and fight in war against well-trained adults?
Yes, so give her a big hand, yes. So, that's the introduction to my life. But I want to ask a question. Do you allow me to go deep in the story? Yeah? Deep as you can handle, okay? So, but as I go deep, I want you to join me in a spoken word that we're going to do together. It's called forced to sin. So when I say forced to sin, you say forced to sin to make a living. Can we do that? Forced to sin to make a living. That's your part. And then when I say sometimes you gotta lose to win, you say never give up, never give in. Okay? So, forced to sin.
Forced to sin to make a living.
Forced to sin.
Forced to sin to make a living.
I want to hear you representing the village. I heard you are all strong here. Even COVID didn't survive in this area. So you gotta bring that in your voice. Is that real? Everybody in London is running away to come here. Is that not true? Yeah. So go. Forced to sin.
Forced to sin to make a living.
Forced to sin.
Forced to sin to make a living.
Sometimes you gotta lose to win. Never give up. Never give in. My dreams are like torment. My every moment. Voices in my brain of friends I was slain. Friends like Noir who died by my side of starvation. In the burdened jungle and the desert plain. Next was I, but Jesus heard my cry as I was tempted to eat the rotten flesh of my comrade. He gave me comfort. We used to raid villages, stealing chickens, goats, and sheep, anything we could eat. I knew it was rude, but we needed food. And therefore I was forced to sin to make a living. Forced to sin.
Forced to sin to make a living.
Forced to sin.
Forced to sin to make a living.
Sometimes you gotta lose to win. Never give up, never give in. Left home at the age of 7. 1 year later, lived with an AK-47 by my side. Slept with one eye open wide. Run up, played dead and hide. I've seen my people die like flies, but I've never seen a dead enemy, at least one that I've killed. But still as I wonder, I wouldn't go under. Guns barking like lightning and thunder. As a child so young and tender, words I can't forget, I say remember. As a sergeant command, raising his hand, no retreat, no surrender. Yiddish, I call it the bond of the trauma. Warchild, child without a mama, still fighting in the circle. Yet as I wake this near war, I'm not alone in this drama. No sit or stop, as I reach for the top. I'm fully dedicated like a patriotic cop. I'm on to fight. Day and night, sometimes I'm doing wrong in order to make things right. It's like I'm living a dream. First time I'm feeling like a human being. The children of Darfur, your empty bellies on the telly now, it's you that I'm fighting for. Left home, don't even know the day I'll ever return. My country's war-torn. Music I used to hear was bombs and fire of guns. So many people died that I don't even cry anymore. Ask God question, what am I here for? Why my people poor? Why and why? When the rest of the children were learning how to read and write, I was learning how to fight. It's snails, vultures, rats, snakes, and anything that had life, I was ready to eat. I know it's a shame, but who's to be blamed? Forced to sin.
Forced to sin to make a living.
Forced to sin.
First to sing to make a living.
Sometimes you gotta lose to win.
Never give up, never give in.
Let me see your power sign. Let me see your power sign. Hold it above your head. Hold your power sign above your head. Do you want me to help you with that? Let me see a power sign. Hold it up like this. For justice, equality,
Justice, equality,
and freedom for all,
freedom for all,
for children's rights,
for children's rights,
for animals' rights,
for animals' rights,
for planet Earth's rights,
for planet Earth's rights,
for the rights of those who are suffering right now,
for the rights of those who are suffering right now,
for women's rights.
for women's rights.
We shall never give up and never.
Never.
Awesome. You're all stars. Thank you. So, that spoken word is dedicated to a friend of mine. It was part of my journey, the lowest poem I've ever been. So there was a plan to escape that was organized. And we're between 200 to 400. And we were told that that journey will take us 1 month. So we're planning to leave becoming child soldiers. So we want to run and go to our homes. So the first month we had enough food, we ran out of food. And we started eating anything we could find. And we arrived in this savannah area. There was no water. So we had to wake up early in the morning, like 5 to 6 a.m. And then you have to put your hand on the grass. There's the dew. You collect that and you lick it several times as you walk. You lick it several times. That becomes your water. And if there's no water, if you did not do that, you're done. So as we continue with the journey, we arrive in a much drier area. And in this dry area, we had to drink our own urine to survive. So what I want to share with you in this journey now is life is full of challenges, you know? And in those challenges, they just make you stronger. And if you give in, you get stuck there. Do you hear what I mean? How many knows that year 1 was a challenge to those who never went to year 1? Yeah? Year 5, after year 6 is what? After year 6 is what?
7.
After year 7?
8.
After year 9?
9.
And after year 10?
11.
After year 12?
13.
And then after year 13?
University. University.
Okay, you're college, university, and you go and look for a job. Yeah? So, as I continue in this part of the journey, there was a child soldier who was promised we were going to come and pick him. He was so exhausted and he was tired. And then he was left under a tree. And the next thing that happened is, when I looked behind him 50 meters away, my eyes and his eyes crossed. He picked his gun and he cocked it and he fired the bullet in his head. And he collapsed on the ground. His brain was left open. And I stood there. I was not worried. I was not scared. But I just stood there. I understood what he did and I understood what happened. The challenge that I was facing is, he planted a seed in my head to do the same. So as I was moving, something in my head told me, why don't you do like what he did? Then I stopped and I said, I want to stay alive. I want to meet my brothers and sisters. I want to tell these stories. And I want to be a part of a solution someday. You know, how many have ever talked to themselves positively? Something wrong is happening in your head and you speak to yourself. So that's what I did. Then the next thing I did, I always like to imagine the future. How many have ever imagined the future in a negative way and they were terrified? How many have ever done? And how many have imagined their future in a positive way and they were excited? And so in this place, I stopped. And I imagined my future in a positive way. So I imagine myself as a pilot. I have never been into a plane, but I saw myself flying, and I said, how is that? And I said, cool. Then I don't want to die. I want to stay to fly. Then next thing, I imagined myself as a doctor. So I was in hospital and helping people. And then I imagined myself as a general in the army with a lot of soldiers. And I said, oh, that's exciting. And the next thing I imagined myself on is as a teacher, as someone who's helping people. So as a kid, I was just imagining. How many have ever imagined themselves like that before? Oh, so you see, get what I mean? So we have, how many are 7 years old here? How many are 8, 11, 12, 13? So you're only 11. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, damn. Oh, 11. Okay, so I was 11 years old in this part of my journey. I was 11. And so as I stop, I use, anytime there's problem that I face, I speak nice to myself and I imagine myself positive. I discovered 2 things as a kid. When I talk bad to myself in my head, my day becomes terrible. And then when I imagine the future in a bad way, my day becomes bad. And so the secret was for me is, how do you know now? Talk positive to yourself and imagine the future in a good way. And so, and I got energy and I defeated the thought that was telling me to end my life. You see what I mean? And then we set on the journey. And as we set on the journey, another challenge came. My left toe was cut. And so because my left toe was cut, every time I make a step, it was painful. It was really painful. And then other people who could not make it in the journey are just shooting themselves. Some people get exhausted, they could not make it. And now as I was moving here, I'm exhausted, my body's in pain, I'm dehydrated, there's no water, I'm starving, and my foot was paining. Something I discovered here is, I looked at my past to see if there's any memories from my mother or from the village that is positive that I can use to motivate me. But all the memories were showing me the bad ones. Then I tried to imagine my future in the positive way. I could not see my future. It was just black, sea of blackness, nothing. And then I tried to see if there's something in the present that I can hold on to motivate me. There was nothing. My body is paining and people are dying. And so something I discovered is when your past and your present and your future come together in one moment, negatively, you lose hope. So imagine my past was negative, my present is negative, my future thinking is negative. Then I was like this. I lost hope and I was collapsing to myself. And as I was collapsing with negative thoughts taking me over, I gave up completely. But there was a little voice that came into my head and told me, you are here for a reason. It just said it once, and I picked it up, and I said, I believe I've survived for a reason. And for that reason, I am going to stay alive. And I repeat it again, slowly and faster and faster and faster. All of a sudden, I got energized and I started standing strong. And I actually believed it, that I'm there for a reason. And he also put a new belief in me that every person in this world is for a reason. There's something only them can do and nobody else. Do you believe that? Do you believe each one of you has got only one thing that they can only do and nobody can do it? Is that true? Have you ever been with your friend and you're good at something and they're not good at something? Yeah? You've discovered, and you go around as nobody, only you. So for me, since then, and I got energized, then I moved on to overcome this challenge. And as gone on, we arrived in another swampy areas. This place now has got more water. And in this water, mosquitoes were coming at us. They are swamping, a lot of mosquitoes. You cannot see through, probably through the mosquitoes, but those mosquitoes, they cover every opening that they could find. And then when you wipe your face, you don't go like this. You just allow them to sit because we have no energy. So when you can no longer see, then you go slowly like that. And when you wipe your face, and you look at the other person's face, it was full of blood. And in this water, everybody started moving slowly by slowly. When you fall down in the water, people can only see bubbles. So there was another child soldier who fell down, and there was just bubbles. And in front of me, another child soldier fell down. And I look at him. I wanted to help, but I didn't have energy. Another bigger soldier dropped down to try to pick him up. They both drowned together. Imagine in a shallow ground, two people drowning because they didn't have energy to lift themselves up. And then from there, to see two people die in front of me, it is a different experience. We're fighting a battle that is intangible. When you're fighting in the battlefield, you have a gun, you can fire, you're fighting an enemy. But this one was different. It is your thoughts, and you're dealing with starvation, you're dealing with many things. And so, negative thoughts came to my head again. Look at you. You are a coward. Your fellow human beings are dying in front of you. You're doing nothing. And then I was beginning to crash again. The coolest thing is, I remembered again that I believe I've survived for a reason. Do you know what? It's also in one of my songs. One of my songs, it's an opening line called Warchild. And that belief statement, I have it up to now. How many believe that they're here for a reason? Let me see your hand. How many believe? Okay, fantastic. So, and I say that over and over. And then I start to imagine again to see if I could imagine. Then a question into my head came, John, you're always imagining to be part of a solution in the future. You are now here. What can you do? There's a voice in my head. And I say, what can I do? Then the voice tells me, why don't you eat that tree? And if you don't die, come and share it with the rest. So I went and I crawled. I walked slowly in the water, slowly to the tree, carefully that I don't fall. Then I picked the leaves and I ate them. I did not die. Then other people come and they did the same. Then another question in my head told me, why don't you eat the snails floating on the water? And if you don't die, share it with the rest. So I went and collected the snails on the top of the water. And I found a little mount hut. We roasted them. And everybody looked. They don't want to eat. I ate. They watched. I didn't die. They started eating snails. And the next thing that happened was vultures were eating dead bodies. Because the snails began to know we're looking for them. So every time somebody comes close, they drown in the water. So finding the snail, you have to go like this. And it takes a while to actually find a snail. So now, the vultures comes to eat dead bodies. So I pick my gun, and I started shooting the vulture. It jumps to the side. It jumped to the side. They were disrespecting me, even though I have a gun. But then there was another child, so I said, please, can you shoot for me a vulture? Just one shot. Boom. Shot the vulture. I went and got the vulture. I roasted it. And everybody starts saying, this young man is crazy. I ate that vulture. Completely. Early on, before, as we went after we overcame these challenges, there was another challenges that comes. At one point, I was tempted to eat my friend. When there was nothing to eat at all, my friend was dying, and I told him, I'm going to eat you tomorrow. And he looked at me and said nothing. But the same principle made me survive that journey. The thing I discovered in this part of my journey that helped me is, no matter how big of the problem, you can be a part of a solution for it now. Because I used to think I'm going to be a part of a solution in the future, but that journey taught me you can be a part of a solution now. During COVID, I'm a musician. All the doors were shut. We can't go anywhere. So you're total lockdown. You're staying without your loved ones. And then I said, how can I be part of the solution of COVID? My mind gave me many ideas on what to do. And I survived. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I want to show you, when I survived this journey, I arrived in a place called what? These are pictures of me. This one I was already trained a child soldier then. I arrived in a place called Word, and I met a British aid worker called Emmanuel Jar. She rescued over 150 child soldiers, and I was the only one she kept with herself. What I want to say, I want you to look at this picture. She's a British aid worker who came there. She didn't have much, but she had an intention to change the lives of children. She later died. But one thing I can say here, you will never know a potential of any child, of any human being, unless you give them an opportunity. You see what I mean? Now you're in school. This is where to discover your potential. Do you understand? And you've been given an opportunity by who? Yes. So you got it all. And so, now here, I want to show you the things that we can do. So can you say, my life is art?
My life is art.
I recognize my life.
I recognize my life
as a work of art.
as a work of art
That I create.
that I create.
Okay. What we're going to do here is we're going to have an exercise. Yeah? Of imagining the future in a positive way. Yeah? So, what we're going to do is, we're going to exercise, we close our eyes, and just imagine yourself in the future. If you want to help the world, if you want to be a doctor of anything, just close your eyes now and imagine yourself in the future. Just try. Yes. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to just be in your head, to imagine yourself in the future. Fantastic, fantastic. You can open your eyes. Who saw themselves in the future? Okay, tell us, what did you see?
Me teaching a class.
You teaching a class? Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. She saw herself in the future teaching a class. Go on. Stand up, stand up, stand up. We're going to do something cool for you. Turn around. Look at everybody. And so everybody, what else do we do? Roll your hands like this. You know what this means? It means our hearts and our mind are united to wish her well. And we're also going to lend her our angels to guide her on our path. And so say something positive. Come on.
You'll be a great teacher.
Yeah.
You're a great teacher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well done.
Yes. Awesome. You're going to win many awards. You know? So we go faster, faster. Stand up, stand up, stand up. We go fast. Everybody rolling fast. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to stretch our hands to her and scream really hard, let it be! Awesome. Who else want to share with us what they said? Okay.
I want to be a zookeeper.
You want to be a zookeeper? Wow. Do you play soccer as well? You do a lot of sport?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, you are strong. You're going to take your animal. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Zookeeper. Wow, turn around. Let me look at you. All right. So everybody, what do we do? Come on, speak. Prophesy. Predict. All right, so we roll it faster, faster, energy, and we stretch our hand to our hand and say, let it be. Awesome. Who else can do it? It's only girls that are ruling the world. You want to come to me now? Yes, young man.
I want to be in the army.
You want to be in the army? Whoa, you want to protect everybody. You want to protect us? Come on, stand up. Soldier. Woo! You want to be in the army? You want to become a general in the army or just an infantry? Okay. Okay, turn around so everybody can see you. And everybody, come on, speak. Speak. Yeah. Awesome. This is the one. He's going to protect the world. Yeah? So we go faster, 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 faster. We stretch our hand and say, let it be. Awesome. Okay, you are the last one.
I want to be a surgeon.
You want to be a surgeon? Stand up. Yeah, so when we all get sick, we're going to be running toward her. Okay, turn around, turn around. She want to be a surgeon. Okay, can we speak stuff? Come on, come on, come on. All right, faster. Let's run it really fast. Another minute, come on. And we stretch our hand. Let it be. Awesome. So the coolest thing we're going to do, all of us have got dreams we want to achieve. I want you to say, failure is an infinite source of intelligence.
Failure is an infinite source of intelligence.
Yes, because there's a man who inspired me. His name is Thomas A. Edison. He wanted to create a bulb that light with electricity. And one day he did. And a journalist came to him, Thomas A. Edison, you failed over 1,000 times to make a bulb light up. And he said, it's just 1,000 ways that did not work, and we found one that works. You understand? So in reality is, those who failed more than those who did not fail, succeeded. Do you know Albert Einstein failed so many times? So in life, it's all about experimenting until you find it, and then everybody get excited. Do you know? Imagine if it was so easy to score a goal when Chelsea play football. If they just go on the field, goal! The next thing, goal! 200 goals scored. You don't want to watch Chelsea again, you know? But if they work so hard, they will, somebody gave them 10 goals, and now Chelsea come, 1 goal. Then they get 11 goals. How would you feel? Some of you run throughout the wall, and you just blow the wall. Break the wall. Don't you think so? Have you ever seen footballers mad when another footballer scored on the screen? I saw a dog, an Italian dog, during the World Cup. He was watching football. And when the Italians scored the goal, the dog jumped and rolled on the floor, screaming. So I want to share with you my failure story so that you understand I didn't just come this far this way. Understand? Remember, what would allow you to go through all your journey? Yeah? How many have an idea that they want to be a part of a solution in the world? Let me see your hand. You want to be a part of a solution? Okay, there's only 2 people who don't want to be a part of a solution. That means the world will be good. So, here, I was given a grade one time, and this grade was called UN. And I took it home, and the person who was in charge of helping me opened the grade and told me, Jar, do you know what this is? I said, yes, it is United Nations. And he said, no, it is ungraded, unclassified. And I said, do you mean I passed so well that I could not be graded? And then he said, no, you are below fail. Fail is better. And he told me, useless kid, gave me a kick on my bottom and a slap. Get out. You know? The difference between here and in some African countries is, when you fail here, you get a hug and a cookie. There, if you fail, everybody is gonna beat you up. You understand? Everybody in the village has the right to beat you. You understand what I mean? It's different than here. It's like if you're crossing a road and you're misbehaving on the street, somebody on the bicycle will just stop and say, whose child are you? I don't know. Okay, they'll take you home until they find your parents, but you'll be beaten until they find your parents. Here's like you call the police and you're safe. So, what happened with this grade, when I was told all those things, I was so crushed. I was given an IQ test. Do you know IQ test? How many of you have done IQ test here? Okay. So I was given an IQ test, and I was told my IQ is so low that I am not fit to study. I should go and do carpentry. Carpentry. They said, this boy is going to do stuff with his hand. School is not for him. How would you feel if people tell you like that? I was so crushed. You know, my confidence, everything broken. Then I locked myself in a small closet. Done. Didn't want to talk to anyone. And I was about to lose hope in that place. My lines came back. I believe I've survived for a reason. And I am going to be a part of a solution. I am going to be a part of a solution. How many have ever locked themselves in a place by themselves and spoke good things to themselves? Did you do? Yeah, so it means you're a leader. You? Yeah, so you're a leader. That's what leaders do. Churchill used to lock himself in the bathroom and say, we shall win this war. But he know he was losing. You know, he wrote his amazing speech one time and he was talking aloud, and then somebody came to the toilet. So are you okay? He said, no, I'm just practicing a speech for the parliament. So, you gotta learn how to speak to yourself, huh? Because the world you face it alone. So, and eventually I say to myself, I am going to go back to school. Maths, physics, chemistry, biology, and English shall not defeat me. This time I am just going to school, but I am just going to fail. I just want to fail. I didn't say I want to pass. I want to fail. Before, I was not classified, but this time, I just want to be classified. You know? So I went to school, and I failed. And I was happy. It's not about, you see, the thing that destroys us the most is not what people say. It's what we tell to ourselves, by ourselves, alone, and believe it. Is that true? If someone will tell you something bad, and you go and believe it, what will happen to you? You'll feel bad, yeah? But if you don't take it seriously, you feel nothing. So, I went to school, I failed, and one day I got a D and an E and a C. To fast forward it, I repeated one class 4 times. So you're better. How many have repeated a class here before? So I was a super doof. You know super doof? Teachers teaching, everything going up, and then next year I come to class again, thing goes here, goes here. Finally, because I believe I can beat the maths, I stayed there. Eventually, I went to University of Westminster with the lowest grade in the class. One day, I got maths 100%, and I got physics 98%. Do you see the power of believing? You see? So, do you believe you can beat your subjects in school? Because of what? The power in you is greater than the one outside. Some people learn fast and some people are slow. Do you get what I mean? So, I was a slow learner. Sometimes my brain is funny. Sometimes I can learn fast, sometimes I can learn slow. You know? You get what I mean? Even the baby agreed. So, Let's move this forward. Let me show you the coolest things I'm doing with my life right now. So now traveling to schools, going to college, and I tell my story. So I'm living the life I was visualizing to be part of a solution. I may not be a pilot, but I'm telling stories that I wanted to tell. So this is me in refugee camp. The quick thing I want to tell you now, FG. One time I took a challenge called Lose to Win because I really wanted to put kids in school. So I created a charity called Gua Africa. And in this charity, I thought I was so famous that within 1 month I can raise the money. So the challenge I did is I said, I'm going to eat 1 meal a day. No breakfast, no lunch, just dinner. And all the meals, I put the money away and people who support me online, and it took me how long? 2 years, 662 days. We raised the money, and then I went and told the kids, hey, I have been eating 1 meal a day so that your school can be built. And one boy said, what are you talking about? We eat 1 meal a day. I felt so stupid because I thought I was really hard. But this boy running around playing football, they have any, but I was really slow because I'm eating 1 meal a day. Then I tell him, wait, before you disrespect me, let me tell you something. I come from a place where people die of fatness. I choose not to eat. And the kid looked at me. And he went and, hey, come. Jar is saying there's a place where people die of fatness. So all the kids come to want to hear the story. And one kid said, do you mean in that place there is so much to eat that you grow fat and die? And I said, yes. And there was a silence. And one kid put his hand up slowly by slowly. And he said, that is the coolest death ever. So you see, that's why I like going to talk to kids, because you never know. So now my staff is one of the creative projects in the refugee camp where we have people from here, from the UK, bunch of teachers or artists, they go to the camp and collaborate. And those art is brought here. So this is one of the charities that is supported by Gua Africa. To move forward, I'm a recording artist, I make music, but I love telling stories. So eventually I discovered that I could also act, so I acted in a movie with Reese Witherspoon called The Good Life. And as I'm still exploring my life, I'm now an entrepreneur. So, because I said, look, I want to create businesses. By the time I'm like 70 years old, those businesses can continue to support what I really care about. Because businessmen, you know, the greatest courage we need in life, you know what? Is the courage to give. Do you know that? Courage to share what you have. It's not courage to fight. Because after you fight, you win, but you can't share what you have. Have you heard like there are people who have billions and billions of dollars, and they only give a little piece? Why? And then there are people who have nothing and give it to you all. Have you heard about that? Yeah? This young girl has got a big heart. I know you give a lot. Is that true? Yeah, you like to share your chocolate, your cookies. Is that true? Yeah, you ate some of us too? Yeah. See, I can see from our face. So that's one of my food company that. So now this is based in Canada. Superfood. I make energy balls. Like when I'm on the road. Like even you see my friend is drinking it. So I can put it with peanut butter and I have energy. Or sometime at night, maybe I don't want to eat junk because I have to eat. I like to eat junk more than you. Think you eat junk more than me? I can. Especially us, I have super. I eat super junk. If I want to eat junk, I eat it real. And then I go extremely healthy. So, as you can see, I came from the bottom like a lobster. I'm now rolling on the top like a rock star. So these are my social media. If you can memorize them, share them with your mom, with your dad, and we can catch up online. For now, the thing we can do is simple. We're going to stand up and we're going to dance. Yeah? The good thing about this is all of you one time, your ancestors ran away from Africa from volcanic eruption. And they all spread in Europe and India and many other stuff. So what we're going to do you mind? I want 3 volunteers. Yes, you and you and you. Yes, onto this side. Yes. And then, who's a good dancer in the school, you know? Okay. Yeah, yes, you're a cool guy. So definitely. And that young lady, you're a zoologist. Zoologists, they dance with animals. So, and who else can join us? Yes, you. Come on. Yes. You gotta represent. All right, so you stand to the end, go to the other side, create yourself a space. And what we're going to do now, everybody else is going to stand, including the adults. Stand up. So, we're going to celebrate this Black History Month with a dance, you know? Alright, so we go like this, follow me like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ta 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 ta. Do it the way you like it, okay? You don't have to do it exactly like me. Just translate it the way you feel. Put your own swagger, okay? But let's put energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Da 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 da. Chicken down. Quack quack. So that's what we gotta do. So let's have a good time. Come on. Let me see your hand like this. Come on, let me see your hand like this. Here we go. Stop putting pressure. Give the best. Give the best. Show success and kindness. Feel the best. She's my own kindness. The answer to you was a massive thing. Holding me like a baby. I think my whole of me and me. Jack of the baby. Sorry, I don't want to rest. Brother, watch out there. That's my father. Sorry, I don't want to rest. She told me to show her my power. Everybody. She told me to show her my power. She told me to show her my power. She told me to show her my power. There we go. Back it up. Oh, back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Oh, back it up. Let me see your hair like this. Hey, go do like this. She say talk, my heart tickles. I smile, she said a nigga. Cute face, love me nigga. Of course I got to do. Swing me with size, baby, baby, where's the road? We took some time, we went from the night. That's when I make it my winner. Let her do it, 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 let her do it. was fun. We had a great time, didn't you?
Yeah.
So last thing to remember is this, yeah? Whenever you find something so challenging and you're losing hope and you cannot manage it by yourself, reach out to somebody you trust, okay? Tell them I'm facing this problem. If it's a bully in the school, you say it, you know? Do you know many people get bullied in school and they never tell anyone? Do you know that? But find courage to tell somebody. And say the name of the bully. You know what I mean? You get what I mean? So whatever the challenge is, whatever is going in your head, because if you don't, you become a prisoner of that thing and it will own your mind. You get what I'm saying? So if you have any questions, you can put your hand up. Anybody with questions? Question, yes?
When did you start creating music?
Oh, when I started creating music, that was 1998. At that time, I think your parents have no idea if they'll ever meet. You know? That was a long time ago. 1998. 20 years? 22 years? 23? 21? Yes.
How old were you when you started writing?
I was 8, 9 to be precise.
Who were you creating if you had any words that you didn't want to say?
So she's asking, who do I go to when I have worries? To be honest? Alright, I want to be honest. It depends what kind. There's different type of worries, yeah? There's financial worries. There is spiritual worries. There is physical worries. You know what I mean? There is all kind of worries that are out there. So it depends what kind of thing. Have you ever realized there's different kinds of things we worry? There are people who are worried, who are afraid to die. You know? So if you have that kind of worry, who do you go to? So, one thing I've discovered it, I believe in a creator and I believe in God. That one I can trust. I can tell all my secret, even if I've stolen something or I lied, and I'm not even judged. But for certain worries of certain activities, I have my manager here. If I am worrying about how am I going to do the next thing now, what can I do? I tell her, oh, don't worry, I'm going to call Laura. Can Laura go call somebody else? Because sometimes it may take 20 people to solve your problem. Or 100, you know what I mean? So, but my worries now are limited because I found something called joy and peace of mind. So I've gone through a lot of problems that my brain has understood. Storms come for a while, and after a while, they will be gone. Yes.
Did you get fresh food and fresh water?
Did
During the army?
I what?
Did you get fresh food and water in the army?
Frustrated. Oh, fresh food, yes. We got, it was bad the way we get food because we have to raid other villages and then get food. Or if we defeated the enemy, we eat their food, yes.
If you could change only one thing about the world today, what would it be?
If I could change one thing, the thing is, my hope is if every human being could really know what their purpose is in this world, there'll be never war. Do you know? Because your purpose allows you to share, allow you to give without expecting anything in return. You understand? How many have ever wanted to help somebody before? So that's your purpose. Yeah? It's the things that we want that cause problems, not the things that we give. Have you discovered? I want a chocolate. And your mom say no. I want a new pair of shoes. No. I want to go and swim. No. You see the difference? The things we want make us upset than the things we give. If you give your mom a massage on her foot, what do you think she's going to think? Is that giving or is that taking? You see? When you rub a puppy on the back, what is that? And what would the puppy feel?
Happy.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Yes.
So, how long did it take for you to be this happy and just like forget all about those bad things?
Oh, that was it took me a while. The most challenging part part for me was not being in the front of the battlefield or suffering when my toe was cut. The most challenging part for me was when I was in Kenya, when I was now in a peaceful environment, from when I was 14 years old to around 25 or 26, 27. Because the things that happened in the past were repeating themselves and controlling my life. The most challenging part was when I was in school. When the teacher is teaching in class, a pen gets stuck in my head because something terrible in the past showed up in my head. So, it took me a while. So to change your life, you require a commitment, something that you can hold onto and trust the process, things are going to work. Yes. All right, we're going to give an opportunity to you at the back. Do you have any questions? The green school? Yeah? All right. The blue. The blue are asking everything. Green, what's up? Green. Come on, green. Okay, you get one by green.
How many years or months did it take for you to kind of fully escape from being a child soldier?
To how many years it took for me to feel safe? That's a good question. Because even adults don't feel safe, you know that. But what issues of the past, especially the most important thing I learned is to always forgive. So when I forgive anybody and then I don't expect them to say sorry. So if you cause me problem now, by the time I'm going to London, I will not think about it, forgive it. Because I realize you can be controlled by somebody else by them doing bad things to you. But if you forgive and let go, you're free in thinking. And then that's when I was able to deal with my worries. So it took me a while. Yes. I stopped fighting, I think 13 or 14.
Who inspired you to music?
Oh, a lot of people. But the person who decided was somebody called Puff Diddy. I listened to him on the radio. And I said, okay, gangsters can rap and talk about God. I said, good. And then when I wrote my first rap, and I went to the studio, and then I was kicked out. So I go to another studio and got kicked out. So it took me a while to actually get it.
When you were younger, what rights do you think you got?
When I was young, what was?
When you were younger, what rights do you think you didn't get?
What rights? What rights did I think I didn't get? The rights I did not get is to go to school and become a kid and play football and love, have a family that you can grow around with. So I didn't have that right. So at the moment, you have to look at what you have and be grateful for it, So the rights, you're playing with real toys, I was playing with guns. Those were our toys. Yes. Yes.
Are you ever going to become a pilot?
A pilot? Well, now I entered a plane and I flew with it. I had many things, as a little kid, you can become, your brain will imagine for you many things, and then one day you narrow things, So I imagined myself as a pilot, yeah? And also one time I wanted to be an engineer, so I came to study electronics. I want to do electronics engineer. That's what I want to do here in the United Kingdom. Can you imagine I'll be fixing your phone? Maybe some glasses. Yeah. So I flew a plane with the help of somebody. So what happened is, my mind expanded and I became an accidental rapper. Yeah? And what remained that became true is I wanted to help people. I wanted to create a bigger impact. And what became a bigger impact for me now is I'm telling stories, I'm singing music, I am acting, and I am mobilizing people to work together to help other people. And now I'm becoming an entrepreneur, I'm creating jobs for people. So now, the same thing still remains. You see what I mean? I'm a different kind of a pilot now. A different general. An emotional pilot. Do you know an emotional pilot? You fly with people through their emotions into safe places. Do you know what I mean? So when you find it entertaining, they give you a nice song and you dance. They're flying you. Do you know what I mean? You're some different kind of a pilot. Yes, and that will come to you.
How long were you in the war for?
How long?
Yeah.
See, from the time, I was born during the war. So I will probably say 12 or 13 during the war. Yes, you, and then I'll come to you.
How does it make you feel when you play music?
Oh, how do you feel? How do you feel yourself when you play, when you dance to a song?
It makes me feel happy and confident.
Yeah. Listen, any human being who cannot dance to music will go mad. You see, if you ever see your mom and dad, man, get your favorite song and dad, come on, let's jump. For 5 minutes, then all the stress fly away. You know what I mean? Yeah? Alright. Yes.
What do you appreciate most about your life?
What do I appreciate? I am so grateful that I am experiencing this life. I did not bring myself to this world. But you know what? I am so grateful. Even sometimes I look at a tree and I say, hey, you tree, you are here, stuck in one place, and I can move anywhere, and you are still happy. Do you understand? And you just talk to a tree. Or sometimes I could look at a monkey, and I'm just appreciative of monkey. But you know what I do with my imagination? I do crazy stuff. Do you want to hear? Sometimes I will lie down and I imagine myself in the space. So I'll actually imagine myself, I visit Pluto. So I travel in my imagination to see where I can go. Sometimes I can fly into the sky through imagination. Sometimes I go under the ocean and swim with the fish and see it. It's amazing how imagination is amazing. Have you ever tried to imagine something and it's so clear in your head? It's so cool? Remember, all people, their imagination grows small and small. Their worries take over, paying bills, children become problems, politics, so many things that their imagination dies. Do you know that? So the thing you have to keep is keep your imagination. Yeah? If you can keep your imagination positively, you will achieve anything you put your head to. Do you know the person who discovered Tesla, who discovered alternative current? He used to lie down and he would imagine and see things clearly in his head and he builds them. Alright, I missed something. Anybody? Last question? Did I answer you? Okay. Who want to take the last shot? Is it you? Yeah? So it looked like we're running out of time. Okay, you're the last person.
Is there any different treatment between adult and child soldiers in the army?
Well, the treatment is similar, but mostly children don't know you die once. So mostly they just run. They don't fight carefully like adults. We get treated like soldiers, just like big adults. There's no favor that this one are more special than this ones. So for now, we can say what? We shall never give up and never give in. Pieces.
On your behalf to say thank you so much to Emmanuel for being here and sharing with us something very, very difficult, but so powerful we will never ever forget them, no matter what age we are. You will never forget what you've heard today. I will never forget what I heard today. And we are so lucky to have had him. 2 weeks ago, he flew into England. This weekend, he's flying out to Kenya. He's that kind of a person. And he came to Broughton. So think about that. He came to Hampshire to talk to us. Now that is a precious gift. Hold on to it. Thank you so much.
infusing and energising all of us in the room. I think we will all take something away from your messages today, and it will definitely move forward and go into our lives and make some changes, so thank you for that. But also thank you very much, Chris, for organising this and making this possible, and Mrs Broadhurst as well, because we are so privileged to have Emmanuel Jar here today, and thank you for making it happen. We are just absolutely thrilled and really, really appreciate all your efforts. Thank you very much.
One thing you will desperately need is to get rid of some energy and run. So what we're going to do is let you out line by line. You'll go past the front door of the village hall, pick up a biscuit. If you've got your water bottles, you can pick up your water bottle on the way out, or if you need a drink, we can provide you with a drink. And then just go onto the grass and just chill for a few minutes before you get back on the bus. Is that alright with the teachers? I assume it's okay. We're fairly safe, don't worry. Don't run off and talk about it.